The following video is not made for kids under 13. If you are not 13 years old, please exit out of the video now. And please, YouTube, do not sue me. Hey guys, Mooky here, and I'm doing a new What If series. This is What If Izuku was an assassin. Now, this is not really a popular what if, or if anything, not a lot of people think that this what if would actually go anywhere. But so I just wanted to try it out anyway. And don't worry, it's not another what if Izuku was a villain what if. If anything, it's more like he's a vigilante. But with that said, let's get into this. Izuku is still born quirkless, and I mean entirely quirkless. That he won't have, that his dream of being a hero is dashed before him. He's still bullied by Bakugo and everyone around him. He's still looked down upon. However, there's one little detail that actually plays a huge part in Izuku's life. His mother. After hearing that her son is quirkless, she doesn't abandon Izuku, no. She still cares for him, but she doesn't know on how to approach him, how to talk to him, and how to comfort her own son. If anything, now she believes that her son is not even worth anything anymore. As Izuku believes that his mother has now abandoned him, but mostly spiritually and mentally, but not physically. She still takes care of Izuku, raise him, all that, but to Izuku, he basically has no one, literally no one, to be there for him, to believe in him, to comfort him, until one fateful day, 5 years later, when he's 10 years old. He comes back from after being beaten by Bakugo and everyone else, and also a bad day at school. He tries to go through, he doesn't want to go through his usual neighborhood because he knows he's going to be beaten and bullied by the normal people in his class. So he decides to take the long way, take the main road. As he walks to another park instead of the usual park where he normally hangs out with Bakugo, where he normally hangs with Bakugo and all the other kids. He begins crying and begins looking at the wounds that Bakugo and they all inflict on him. Until a man comes up to him and says, "Excuse me, young man, are you live around this area?" Or as Izuku nods and says, as I'm looking for the Midoriya residence. Do you know where they are? As the kid says, my last name is Midoriya. As the young man says, "Oh, are you Izuku Midoriya?" As he said, "Yeah. Who are you?" As the man says, "I'm a friend of your father. He told me that you were born quirkless. Is this true?" As Izuku begins crying, saying, "Yes, I am." As he asks him, "I see. Well, I never expect to meet somebody quirkless in my life, or be training them in that." As he says, "Train? Who are you?" As he introduces himself as, also, this is basically what I'm going to be putting OC characters, my own OC characters. So, yeah, I'm sorry if it seems confusing or wondering who these people are. I'm sorry, really am. As he introduces himself as Kazushi Ota, that as Izuku saying, Huh, so you're friends with my father? He tells the young boy, yeah, I go way back, and I owe your father a lot. So, I want to help. So, to repay that debt to him, I'm here to train you. As Ezekiel's saying, who are you? What are you? As he tells him, will you not tell anyone this? If I tell you this? As Ezekiel's saying, sure. So what are you? As he tells him, he's an assassin. As Ezekiel's saying, begins thinking that word. As, you mean you're a killer? That means you're a villain. As he begins freaking out and tells him, I'm not the kind of killer you think I am. In a way, I mostly just kill bad guys. I don't kill innocent people. People that I have no problems with. I only kill villains, in a way. As Izuku hears this, so you're like a hero or a vigilante. As he tells him, yeah. Listen, Izuku, how old are you? As Izuku tells him he's 10. As he says, I see. So, you're pretty young, but it might be grueling training. I'm going to train you in the ways of the assassin. Do what you want with the skills do what you want with the skills. You don't have to kill or hurt people. With these skills, you won't be considered weak anymore. You'll be strong in your own way. As Izuku's saying, even without a quirk, can I still be a hero in a way like that? As he tells him, with my training, yes, you will. As Izuku says, then I'll do it. I'll train with you. I'll do anything it takes. As he says, if I do this, that means you'll say goodbye to your current life. You won't see your family again, your mother, your friends at school. You won't even go back to school ever again. Are you okay with that, Izuku? As Izuku thinks about it, he's now reminded that he has no friends. His mother barely talks to him, barely cares about him. So, without any hesitation, he says, I am. Let's go. With that said, the man takes Izuku by the hand, and they take a cab to the airport. They soon take a plane to an island nearly off the coast of Japan, where where they soon see a village deep into the forest. As Kazushi tells him, this will be your home for the next couple of years. It will also be where I'll be training you. Are you okay with this, Izuku? As Izuku says, I made my choice. No going back now, right? As he says, yes, no going back. Soon after, Izuku is sent to basically a Japanese-style mansion where he sees at least 3 other kids as they are wondering who Izuku is. As Kazushi soon says, children, this is my new student, and will be trained under me as well. He's the child of an old friend of mine. His name is Izuku. Treat him with kindness as you treat me. Understood? As they all bow to him, and soon after, as he takes Izuku's stuff into another room. Soon after, the kids soon ask if has he had any training or how does he know the master. As Izuku begins stuttering like crazy, wondering on what he should say, and begins thinking to himself that he hasn't had any training as an assassin. as one of the boys say. So that makes you a novice. Makes sense. Soon after, the girl that was beside him soon asks, "How old are you?" As Izuku says 10. After hearing this, the girl says, "So you're not just behind us on skill, but also age. I'm at least 11 years old." And soon after, Izuku feels nervous that he's going, as the other kid says, "Come on, give him a break. I think we can, if the master wants to train him now, then so be it." So, as Izuku says, "Can I ask all your names?" As they soon say, "Sure." One of the boy who asked him if he had any training is named Mitsuo Odaiba. As the girl says, her name is Tsubaki, as she doesn't know her last name because she doesn't know her parents. As the other one tells him Connor Kotsui. After hearing all their names, Izuku says it's a pleasure meeting all of you and asks if they had any quirks. As they all say, of course they have quirks. Mitsuo says that his quirk is swift. He's able to move his body faster than the naked eye can see. Because of that, however, it doesn't increase his strength or just his speed, nothing else. As Tsubaki says, her quirk is called Gate. She can create a small portal to places that she's seen or remembers being at. She can even send other people through them too, besides herself. As for Connor's quirk, his quirk is called Phase. He can phase through objects and people. It's like permeation. However, unlike permeation, where Mirio had to basically take a deep breath and all of his senses are basically gone, Connor's phase quirk basically allows him to phase through objects without any negative repercussions. However, the only negative repercussion being is that he can't see himself or anyone else in front of him. So he has to remember the layout before he phases through things or anyone else as well. Other than that, it's a pretty powerful quirk. As Izuku is excited seeing all of them have awesome quirks and amazing abilities as well. As they're all surprised because many people said that their quirks aren't that useful or that powerful as well. As Izuku's saying, "Are you kidding me? That's amazing. It truly is." Mostly since I don't have a quirk at all. As they all say, "Really?" As Izuku feels sad, feeling like they're going to make fun of him. As they say, we all have bad luck in life. It's the reason why we're all here by the master, of course. As Izuku saying, "You're all not going to make fun of me?" As they say, "Why would we? We were all abandoned by our parents or family, due to our quirks or due to our life circumstances. So, if anything, you're the same as us, Izuku. Abandoned by the world." After that, Izuku feels calm and feels like he's gonna cry as he soon goes to the ground as all three of them hug him with his embrace. Soon after, Kazushi soon comes through as seeing all three of them hugging Izuku as he soon smiles. Maybe this wouldn't be so hard after all. The next day, Izuku is basically put through assassination training as normally Kazushi was going to help Izuku walk through it a little bit, but seeing on how he's only 10 years old, he needs more time. He doesn't have that much time as he begins pushing Izuku through living hell. Basically imagine all the most torturous training that you've ever seen in your life times 100 for a 10-year-old child. Izuku is basically put through immense strain on not just his body, but his mind physically as well. However, Kazushi does treat Izuku kind and helps him with any injuries that he is afflicted with. Not only that, the other three also taking care of Izuku as well, with Mitsuo training Izuku in hand-to-hand combat and also using weapons as well, which he does well in, which Izuku actually learns well to learn in. Soon after, Tsubaki trains Izuku how to work his surroundings, stealth and all that. Izuku learns pretty quickly, and Connor also helps out Izuku when it comes to firearms, such as pistols, submachine guns, assault rifles, and which becomes Izuku's staple, a sniper rifle, which Izuku actually takes a huge liking in using firearms more than anything. Years have passed, and Izuku is now 13 years old, as he soon basically mastered his training with an assassination, as his final test was to take on Kazushi, and as one of the most difficult tests to prove that he is a full-fledged assassin, which Izuku passed with flying colors and everything, as Kazushi bows before his student and tells him that he's now a trained assassin, as Izuku bows and thanks him for everything that he's trained him, with both Mitsuo, Tsubaki, and Connor also congratulating Izuku as well. With that, one day, Kazushi decided to send all four of them to the mainland, to Japan, basically sending them to Tokyo, saying that they have time to relax before becoming full-fledged trained assassins and leaving the island if they want. Soon as they arrive, Izuku is surprised coming back to modern civilization and everything, as he's wondering if he's truly ready to integrate back to society. He still has the dream of becoming a hero, until one moment he sees a villain attack going on and decides to help. And as the heroes fight some no-name villain pretty easily, the villain keeps on struggling, as he soon has a hostage, as all the other heroes are doing nothing, as they want to see how they could take down the villain without hurting the hostage. However, Izuku comes in, basically decapitating the villain with throwing one of his knives that he carried with him, and basically stabbing him right through the head, causing the villain to go down on the floor. As the heroes began wondering, what just happened? Who was that? Izuku then faded back into the crowd, as soon after Tsubaki grabbed Izuku by the hand, saying, "Where do you go, Izuku? We're heading back to the hotel," as saying, "Yeah, I'm on my way." After that little encounter, Izuku soon told both his master and everyone else about what he did, as he saw heroes doing nothing, as a hostage was basically in trouble. That they all had quirks, even abilities that they could use to help to take down the villain. Even if it meant killing him, then so be it. Protecting the innocent is what truly matters, right? As they all say, that's just how hero society is. Some people with quirks do have power, but they're willing to have their so-called principles and the moral high ground. As Connor says, soon after, Kazushi soon tells Izuku, there are no such thing as true heroes. Maybe All Might and some others, but no hero is basically a saint, Izuku. And as Izuku wonders, "What do you mean, Master?" as he tells him that there are some heroes with dark history, shady past, and willing to blackmail and even stomp on other heroes and innocent people to get farther life in life. That's the kind of society we live in. That's the kind of world we live in. As Izuku is surprised, he doesn't truly believe his master, but he's worked as an assassin longer than anybody, and he has to know this, and he does. As Kazushi says, tomorrow we're heading back. You could stay on the island if you want. You're a full-fledged assassin now, just like the others. But once you become an assassin and set back on Japan or anywhere else in the world, you'll have to stay in the shadows. Work in the shadows. Sometimes even work with common criminals. Are you really okay with that, Izuku? Izuku is soon in deep thought, as his morals of wanting to be a hero and help people, and the morals of seeing the darkness of hero society, the weakness of hero society. As he begins thinking, I'll be a better hero. I might be a vigilante. I may be seen as a monster or a villain in the public's eyes, but at least I know what I'm doing is right and just. Right? Is that okay, Master? To be an assassin? As Kazushi soon grabs Izuku by his head and rubs his hair, saying, of course. Soon after, another year has gone by, and Izuku begins making a name for himself in Japan as the Reaper. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I know this one was really long because I wanted to give out more details about this assassin story. And I know it diverts off the original My Hero Academia timeline, but if you guys care about it, so be it. At any rate, this is Mooky, signing out. Later.